just a couple months ago, we finished making our kind of wood armrests right here. I filmed the process of how I made these, and yeah, I'm gonna kind of show you how I made them. They're really, really cool. It's walnut wood that I cut in half, and I put the live edge in the middle, and then filled them with this really cool blue epoxy resin. So like I said, I made these roughly 4 months ago now, but I just never got around to doing anything with the footage just because of that little one right there that I'm chasing around. Alright, well, hopefully you guys enjoy. Let me know in the comments what you think. Right, so I've made the frames over here. What I've done is I'm going to be doing the armchairs 5 wide by 13 long. I got this amazing kind of like walnut wood here. I got it from a factory or a wood shop over in San Luis Obispo. He actually gave it to me for free. So what I've done with it is not that one, but I did start to make a clock. The white didn't come out how I wanted, but I'll still run it through the planer. As soon as this has gone through the planer, we'll get something like this, just like a nice wood finish. This is a charcuterie board that I just finished up probably about a month ago. So what I've done to calculate how much epoxy I need is I've done length times depth times average width. What that there gets is the total cubic inches, of which then you divide by 61 to get how much like liters you need. I should be using about 7.7 liters. I think this pour here was 0.6. So, I mean, that looks about right. As soon as I run this clock through the planer, it should look something like this, of which, yeah, we're going to hang up on our wall. And then once I've kind of practiced a few more things like these here, we would like to make our computer desk a big river pour, like a 9-foot long one. So the 3-to-1 mixture that I'm doing right here, if I fill up roughly 175 mils with this first part B, and then 700 worth of part A, we should be good. If anyone knows how to kind of clean these properly after using them, so like my mixer right here, it appears to have like, I don't know, a little bit of discolor right there, but it will not come off whatsoever, as well as in this. It's like a little bit tacky in the bottom, but no matter what I do, I can't clean it. I feel like this needs to be like thrown away almost every single time. The 3 colors that I've gone with, I'm actually doing these 3 right here. A little bit more of these 2, a little bit less of this. And yeah, this is kind of what it looks like. The very end one is ocean. On camera, it's not as blue as what it is in person. So yeah, that last one's really just to kind of get that ocean color. So that should be good. On this pour right here, I did just use silicone all the way around it, and it was absolutely perfect. This time we have run out of silicone because my wife is making like a free library that will go out the front of the house. So I'm using like a caulking silicone mix. It is hard. It is, well, not hard, but it is exactly the same texture as like silicone. I've gone all the way around the outsides, and then I've done everything on the inside. So we should be good. Just as a precaution, obviously I'm going to be pouring it outside. So any issues, it will be out there, not in here on the carpet. Sweet. Alright, let's go ahead and drop this pour. Right. I got it as level as I possibly can right here. My mixture's all done. It's quite a cool little kind of blue. I'm just letting it sit just for like another minute or 2 after mixing it, just so that those bubbles come to the top. And as soon as they've come to the top, I'll maybe flash it with a little bit of heat, and then pour it, and then I'll just keep an eye on it, and I'll maybe flash it just a little bit more with a flame, just to get rid of any excess bubbles. I think I'm going to try pick up some premium MDF and cover the pool table so that I can kind of do some more bigger pours than just this right here on the table instead of on here, just because I'm so limited with space. Everything's just a little bit harder when you don't have someone here to help you with either filming, but let's go ahead and pour this. So all those bubbles will be removed with just a little bit of heat. And then I want to try fill this big crack over here with some of this blue as well, because I think that'll look absolutely amazing. All of that full. So you can kind of see some bubbles coming up right now. I did try get out as much bark as I could, so we will see it kind of seep just a little bit into the bark. But yeah, you definitely need to get the bark off before you drop any epoxy in there, because it will not, the epoxy kind of won't stick to it. It just won't make it as strong as what it can be. So it's been about 1 hour now, and I am loving that color. That color looks so good. It's like just see-through enough to see like the depth like on the side of the wood there. Loving it. It's perfect. As soon as we plane these back, this like strip in here is going to be you know, it's going to be blue all inside that crack, which is going to look really good. And then you can kind of see that piece of wood slowly like drop down. The temperature right now outside is roughly 75 degrees, so I think that's perfect. I think 25 is what's recommended Celsius, and here in California we are sitting at 75, and it's perfect. I'll see you guys in about 12 hours or so. If anything goes wrong, then don't follow anything that I've done. Right, so it's been a couple days since I took these out of their molds. I took them over to my neighbor's house to plane them down and run them through his automatic planer and then sander. And then at the same time I also did this clock. So now we are going to sand them down. So I'll use the oscillating sander for I think that's 80. Then I'll do 120, 400, then a 1500. Ideally, I think I would have gone 3000, but I can't find it anywhere. And then I'm going to be using like a local, it's like a beeswax for after I buff it, which is going to look really good. And then so many other projects going on at the same time. We have just remulched our backyard over here. So we've got a feijoa tree, we've got a pear tree here, and then the fig tree's not looking too good. Right, so I've sanded them down to about 1500 grit right now, and they look awesome. You can really like, I don't know, the blue looks pretty dang cool in both of them. And then this one here was supposed to be like a pure white, but I think the white that we picked had like I don't know, like glitter or something in it. So it's doing a little bit of weird stuff when you're up real close to it. So I've kind of buffed them down. I've sanded them over to 3000 grit or 1500 grit, and then I've just applied the wax on there. So this one here has got the wax. This one here does not. But it's so freaking cool. This one here does have a couple kind of imperfections where, you know, this is a little bit of a gouge as well as this here. But that's perfectly fine for being, you know, on the corner of the couch. But now that like wax is on there and I've buffed this, you can kind of just see every little bit of detail of the wood inside the epoxy and the kind of waves inside the blue, which is really cool. This one here is going to look amazing as well. Can't wait to kind of get these on the couch and start using them. And then the clock as well is coming along. So on the back side of this, I'll route out a square for the housing to live, and then this will be kind of like up on the wall. Alright, so now that these have dried, it's been about a week since I last kind of put the finish on them. I put that, I'll find out the exact name for it, but it's like a beeswax mix. I've measured out, there's a small white line there and right there. That's 8 3/4, which will be right at this point all the way to this point. I'm going to head back to my neighbor's house because I don't have a miter saw or a drop saw or anything like that to make these cuts. So what I'm going to do is cut a straight line across here and then cut on a 45 going both those directions, and then epoxy this back together somehow. Perfect. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. Like I said, I did it roughly 4 months ago. I would like to do some more woodworking projects pretty soon. Please, if you guys have any ideas of how you would have improved this, let me know. The 45-degree cuts that I did make on here, I used a clamp that holds it at 90 degrees, and then I used epoxy, epoxy glue basically, and they are basically rock solid. Like I should really sand down this little shiny part, which is epoxy that kind of spilled out, but honestly it doesn't really bother me. They just look so cool. Yeah, I did it like 4 months ago, and it hasn't bothered me that little imperfections there. Alright guys, well, enjoy the rest of your day. Like I said, comment down below if you would have done something different right here, because I'm really curious what you guys would have done, and I want to make some more things. Not sure what yet.